Welcome to the Ringer Gambling Show, Friday edition. Cousin Sal here, Anthony Dabbundo here, Danny Heifetz is here. We are back, fellas. This is a milestone podcast. This is our sixth podcast together. If Disney and YouTube TV have anything to say about it, this will be the last time we're together. No, we're free and clear of that, right, Dabbundo? We don't have anything to do with that.
As somebody who doesn't have YouTube TV, I'm kind of just like, you guys have fun.
I gotta say,
you don't have Red Zone?
I have YouTube for Red Zone and for Sunday Ticket, but I do not have YouTube TV.
People laughed in 2018 whenever they're like, you guys got to cut the cord, cut it. I'm like, no, I have DirecTV, and they have their issues with providers and stations. And I'm like, now I get the last laugh. I get to watch college football on Saturday. Sure, I'm paying $700 more a year. But this is exactly why, because no one could get their shit together. What the hell, Heifetz? This was such a deal. $32 a month years ago, right? Only a few years ago.
Do you know how many people at the DirecTV headquarters are just monitoring your account, just being like, don't let him get off this thing. He's the last guy left.
I'm the last guy. I definitely am. All right. Dabbundo brought it up. No one was thinking about this. Happy Halloween to everyone. I'm going to hit you guys right off the bat because we have so much to do. We have to go over that Thursday night football game. Another stinker, 28-6. What was it, 28-7 on Monday, 28-6 yesterday? No good. World Series Game 6. We have our picks. We're going to try to figure out this MVP thing. Ringer 107 picks, college football, Handiclipping, NBA stuff. But listen, what's important is important, and this is important. What is the best non-chocolate candy to receive as a trick-or-treater? Skittles plus 150, Sour Patch Kids 3-1, Twizzlers 7-1, candy corn 500-1, Field even. I know you made a face there, Heifetz, with candy corn. What's your choice?
Candy corn is like a bunch of stuff from your generation that we need to sunset. Black licorice, canned vegetables.
That's
like
fine.
There's all this stuff.
It's an industry
that you
plant.
guys grew up on. It doesn't. I don't really know what your childhood was like, where that was like candy, but it just is frankly horrific.
It's got the fall colors, and I think if it didn't, I think we would have kicked it to the side years ago. Yeah.
Soda leaves. You're going to ground those up and eat them? I think
yes,
the answer
actually,
is
that
Starburst.
is something we did.
Oh,
Yes,
great
back in the
answer,
day.
Heifetz.
Yes, there you go.
Starburst, but specifically pink and reds. When you open it and get like yellows and oranges, it's like
Orange
is
Starburst.
fine.
Those.
Oh, so you're going Field even with Starburst. That's what you're saying too,
I'm a
Dabbundo?
Starburst head as well. The day that they created the Starburst minis where you didn't have to unwrap all of them individually, my chance of diabetes went up 82%.
Yeah, because that's the problem. You end up eating the wrapper on half of these, right? It's not good. It's not a chance you're going to get all the wrapper off. Okay, yeah, that's a good answer.
He was worried about microplastics, so he started eating the wrapper so the paper could fight with the plastics. They kind of can't.
Precisely.
My answer would be
Macroplastics.
Swedish fish. I love the Swedish fish.
No.
What do you mean no? Don't tell me what I like.
It gets stuck in your teeth. It's inefficient to eat.
That's good though, Dabbundo. You want to trade with people. You don't want to go trick or treating with someone who likes the same candy.
You're eating
That's true.
wrappers, Dabbundo. You can't say anything.
We need to sunset Swedish fish too.
I got to tell you, ask the kids now.
No, I love the
12-year-old.
Swedes. Don't love the Swedish fish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're going to be sent back. This is part of a job requirement there to Sweden. Listen, the kids, though, will tell you nerd clusters. They've taken the world by storm. Pretty damn good.
The nerd clusters is honestly the first true innovation in candy in like decades. I feel like Oreo and Reese's have been adding their flavors to all this stuff like ice cream and all. But the nerd clusters, they actually just invented something new. It's like a revolution.
Absolutely. All right, speaking of nerd clusters, that Mike McDaniel, he did it again.
This is the Ringer Gambling Show presented by FanDuel, and if you're betting on the NFL, FanDuel's the place to do it. They've got everything. Same game parlays, quick bets for when you want to jump in live and your way so you can set your own lines. The app's fast, it's easy to use, and best of all, when you win, you get paid out instantly. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com/gamblers to get started. Must be 21 and older, and present in select states are 18 and older in D.C., Kentucky, and Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut.
We talked about it. 28-6. Yucky game. My picks were yuck too. I lost with Miami plus 7.5 at Achan touchdown. That didn't happen. Bateman long reception. That didn't happen. The Bundo, I don't think you did well, right? You had Miami as well, plus the
Yeah,
7.5?
Miami. I mean, the first half was like a incredible sabotage job. They were the better team, play to play the whole first half, but then they'd miss a chip shot field goal. They have a fumble inside their own 15-yard line. I think the Ravens had like 5 first downs in the first half, and they were up 14-6. I'm like, that can't be good for the second half.
226 to 109 in yards in the first half, and it was 10-4 in first downs. Yeah, 4
and
first
they were
downs.
Down 8. So you just kind of
yeah.
you just kind of laugh at that point when you have that side, and you're like, like Raheem calls it the B side. I laugh.
Yeah, I had a lot of money on it. I don't laugh, but Lamar is back. Heifetz 18 for 23, 4 touchdowns, only 14 yards rushing. It seemed like a lot more than that. Was the one called back or something? I don't know, but he looked to be in control, and so did the Ravens. For God's sakes, who doubted them?
The Ravens just coming out of the bye and just immediately getting these 2 wins in 5 days and being back in the position to actually go win the division. I don't know, it does seem like a thing they can actually do. The upcoming schedule with all these quarterbacks they're going to face, they have the next few games, they're going to have like either Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor on the Jets. They're going to have like JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. Like they have very winnable games in their next month. They still have 2 games left against the Steelers. Like, I know you guys have talked about this a lot, but it's worth talking about because they were this preseason Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah.
They might claw their way. It might be the 3rd or 4th team to ever make the playoffs again after 1-5. Might be, I think, the second team to win the division coming out of it. But to your point about Lamar rushing, I just think Lamar, even when he's not rushing for yards, even with a little limited mobility, his ability to manage the pocket and keep his eyes downfield is something he's actually still getting better at. And I thought he was kind of masterful at it. On the amount of we always say Mahomes and Allen and Herbert, but Lamar's manipulation of the pocket on Thursday was really impressive.
When he's crazy to say, they only had 6 points, but I think there still are a lot of problems with this Ravens defense. And like you said, they might not get exposed in the next 4 weeks. But like I have, my eye on like when they next play a competent team and say, hey, like this run stop unit doesn't look great to me. I didn't think the pass rush was good at all. They only got pressure when they brought pressure. So I still think there's a lot of questions about their defense, and I don't think it's going to be an elite unit at any point this year. But they did give up 6 points, so I guess who am I to say wasn't a great performance?
But yes, I mean, I guess the proof is in the pudding. But if they have a quartet of quarterbacks that looks like J.J. McCarthy, Dylan Gabriel, Justin Fields, and Flacco, I think Rodgers is in there somewhere, whatever. They could build some confidence to make themselves think they're all of a sudden a top 10. Yeah, they had like the 4th hardest schedule coming in, and then from this point on, I think it's the 6th easiest or something. Maybe I reversed those two, but man, well. Now they're -1. Let's talk about this line. They're -145 to win the division. Based on everything we just said, is that low? Should we? The Steelers going to sneak up them? It's gotten to a point. We read those names of the quarterbacks they're facing. It's no longer the case that they need to sweep the Steelers. I think in the 2 games coming up, they could probably split and still win that division, right?
I mean, Pittsburgh's a dog the next 2 weeks. If they just lose those 2 games and the Ravens win next week, they'll be tied right in the loss column.
Yeah. That's right.
I hadn't even thought about that they could split with the Steelers and still end up winning the division before, even around Christmas taking the lead. That's unbelievable. I think you're right, though.
So much time left. There's so much time. I'm trying to look at these numbers here. Dabbundo, you were right. The box score shows 18-17 in first downs, 338 to 332 in total yards. It was close. It shouldn't have been like that. And this is why Chris Greer is pulling his hair out of his head, because he has been fired, right? Heifetz, GM for the Dolphins, gone. I don't know what to say about this team, really.
He's deserved. I mean, Chris Greer deserves to get fired. He's been there for 25 years in Miami, and they have basically not participated in the playoffs whatsoever. I think fundamentally the Dolphins were the last team in the 21st century to have a quarterback make the Pro Bowl. Do you know how easy it is to make the Pro Bowl?
Yeah, right.
Mitch Trubisky made the Pro Bowl.
Snoop.
Tua was the guy who made the Pro Bowl. Chris Greer took Justin Herbert. Sorry, he took Tua over Justin Herbert, even though Brian Flores really wanted Justin Herbert. Chris Greer traded a future first-round pick just so he could take Jalen Waddle over Micah Parsons and Rashawn Slater and Patrick Surtain and Penei Sewell. And then couldn't build the offensive line. And frankly, the offensive line for Miami was the biggest problem 4 or 5 years ago. And it's actually worse now than it was then, even though they thrown a bunch of resources at it. The secondary is a mess. Frankly, everything Chris Greer has tried to fix has gotten worse, not better. So, yeah, I think that this is the right move, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised because, frankly, I think Mike McDaniel, like what he's been handed, he hasn't done an awesome job at times. The clock management at the end of the half is still horrific, but Tua needs to go too, and it's too bad. But I think it's going to be a house cleaning. But Chris Greer deserved to go.
Cleaning. New GM, new coach.
How soon are we cleaning the house here? Over under Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, McDaniel is out, or do you think he's lasted this week?
I think he lasts the year.
Oh, he does the whole year. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if you fire the GM lost, and I think that there's not a ton of upside to trying to do a GM search and a head coach search at the same. Like you're at least giving him a month because, also, frankly, sometimes what happens is you fire the coach and everything just becomes a mess because then you just promote. But then again, Stephen Ross also. I mean, Brian Flores' lawsuit accuses Stephen Ross of offering him $100,000 per loss to tank, ironically, so they could take 2 over Herbert, which is kind of funny that they did that anyway, all for nothing. But. So maybe he will fire McDaniel and then just try to make the whole thing worse.
Yeah, this is an underrated disaster franchise, right? Because the Browns will always be there and always will distract you and everything, and they'll always be at the top of the heap there. But the Dolphins, because of all the things you mentioned, and because they haven't, won a playoff game in forever, and it is just something else. I don't know what to think. Chris Greer's a winner, I think, here, that he doesn't have to deal with this shit anymore. Watch this horrible team. My goodness.
The American dream is to live in Miami with some buyout and not have to go to work like everybody else.
Right.
That's the dream. Carlos, our producer on the Ringer Fantasy Football Show, always jokes that Miami actually is just as bad as some of the other teams, but no one cares at all because they're in Miami instead of the other people who are sat in Cleveland. It's like, damn, it's a lot of snow and rain to have your team suck so much. Yeah. At least, like, no one feels bad for the warm weather bad teams.
Yeah, it's actually a
better
good point.
things to do with your Sunday afternoon than go to Hard Rock. Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Heifetz fantasy breakout wise, Mark Andrews, my God. First of all, plus 1050 for the first touchdown. Good job by him. He added another one. Charlie Kohler scored a touchdown as a tight end. Likely had a nice game, right? What the hell's going on? What do you do if you own 1 or 2 or all these Ravens tight ends? What are you going to do?
Well, if you have Charlie Kohler on your team, just walk into the ocean. But I do think this is the year of the tight end in fantasy in a lot of ways, just because I think teams are playing a lot more 12 personnel. Mm-hmm. Frankly, teams can't block. They want more guys in the field, just trying to, mismatch defenses and stuff. But the results has been a lot of good tight ends, especially if you waited. I mean, Jake Ferguson on Dallas, if you do full point per receptions, like the number 1 tight end still. Tucker Kraft is having a great year. Tyler Warren's having. You took Tyler Warren really high in the Ringer Fantasy League, and he is like more than delivered. Mark Andrews is doing well. Like a lot of these tight ends are having great seasons this year. Aronde Gadsden, which I was trying to tell Dabbundo about all year. Dabbundo wouldn't listen. Aronde Gadsden had a great year. So, no, tight ends are doing – I think Mark Andrews is going to be the red zone threat for the Ravens all year.
Are you saying it's not enough to have National Tight Ends Day, that it should be a week, a month, perhaps even a year, the whole year, commemorating the tight ends?
Tight end inflation?
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. All right, so, the Dolphins, no good. We're going to get to some press conference stuff in a second with the Dolphins. Boy, dude, it just gets worse. Better and better for us as fans, the consumer content creators, whatever we're supposed to be doing here. But 28-6, Ravens trending to win that division. Dolphins trending to get a very, very high draft pick. All right, Dodgers, Jays. What the hell happened to this series, guys? Game 6. Dodgers are still a favorite to win tonight, minus 144. Jays plus 122. For the series, the Blue Jays are minus 235, and the Dodgers are plus 194. Dabbundo, I don't know. I just feel like I get this way with these NBA series. It's like, all right, well, I called it wrong the last 3 times. Why do you need to hear from me? I have nothing. I went with the better pitcher the last 2 nights. It didn't work out. And I'm going to give a pick and yell about it, and you're going to listen to me. But I feel like you are onto something with these strikeouts. Well, you do these strikeout props.
I was onto it until Game 5, and then we had a
win
disaster.
Or lose by a half a strikeout every single time. So you're changing it up a little bit here, right?
Well, I mean, look. So what's worse? This is a good gambling question. So we've been doing pretty well with strikeout props at the playoffs, and I was like, all right, I kind of like both unders, Savage and Snell. Is it worse if you bet Savage under and he puts up 11 and makes you look like a complete idiot? Or if you bet the Snell under and he strings you along for like 2 straight innings sitting on 6, and then Dave Roberts makes him throw 118 pitches, grinding even though he can't throw a strike through the 7th to get the 7th strikeout on his literal last pitch. What is the worst loss? That's worse, right?
Yeah, 118 pitches in a losing effort for a guy who doesn't have his stuff. And by the way, lots of bags under his eyes. My wife comments on it. She's like,
he
why
never
so many
sleeps.
bags?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Dude,
yeah.
He looked awful.
He always looks like that.
He always looks so tired. He looks like he just got bailed out of jail at all times.
Dabbundo, send him some of those gold eye strips.
That's what I was thinking. I have the eye patches. I wore them on Sunday morning, but you guys weren't in the office yet when I had them on.
Well, why'd you take them off? Don't ever take them off.
Well, you're only supposed to have them on for like 15 minutes.
Oh, what happens otherwise?
I haven't yet figured it out.
Let's see.
We're not
Dabbundo, do you mouth tape? Do you do mouth tape?
when I sleep?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a
I'm not one
Halloween
of those
costume.
sickos.
What do you
It's
got?
more cosmetic than function for me.
Will you explain mouth taping to Sal?
Do you know
it's
what
just
mouth taping
for
is?
snoring, right? To prevent snoring. What does it do?
It's for breathing efficiency.
Yeah. Okay.
So that you breathe through your nose in your sleep and not through your mouth. So like the super health conscious guys, they're like every night they tape their mouth shut, and then they wake up and like part of their morning routine. What's the guy's name? Ashton Hall, who had the viral morning routine. The first thing he does every morning is take the tape off.
Wow.
I think I would die. I have too much allergies, like nasal congestion. I can't be messing around with that. I might end up dead.
I'm claustrophobic, and just the thought of it now is just getting me antsy. Like I can't get in a New York City cab if I can't like stretch out. I'll get out in the corner. Like if the window doesn't match up with on the plane, if it doesn't, I'll tell the plane to go to the corner and I'll get out. No, but yeah, it sounds awful.
I'm not above using mouth breather as an insult.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
I'm mouth breather myself.
It's 1990s wrestling. Yeah, it's fodder. It's pretty good. All right, so you like Gausman over. You're going over out. You're still doing this with the pitchers here.
I love it. Look, I could like go through the random. I could say that like Ohtani no home run, which I bet in Game 4, like at minus 260 is like a good bet. But that's like also not the best bet to root for. So let's root for Gausman to get through at least 5 1/3. I understand that, the Dodgers lineup is pretty patient, but this lineup right now does not look like the same lineup we, thought it was really since the playoffs started. If you look at the non-Ohtani hitters, they have an OPS below 650. So Gausman's been pretty efficient. He throws a lot of strikes. He's in the zone a lot. So the Dodgers are going to probably look to be a little more aggressive. And at that rate, like, these bullpens are still pretty taxed in the sense that they've seen all of the top guys 3 or 4 times now. So you could get the Jays and Schneider trying to push Gausman into the 6th inning. I think he will. So over 15.5 outs, minus 115 for me. No more strikeout props after the disaster. Maybe we were riding our luck a little bit. Savage finished with 5 in Game 1. Ohtani was 6, like you said.
Yeah.
Winning everyone by a half. And then
They are on it, man. They are.
The
on
regression
these
hit
lines.
us in Game 5.
Yeah, the good thing about the over outs thing for pitchers, for Blue Jays pitchers, is you get 11 freebies. You get 11 outs off the bat, right? So you're good. He's not going to get chased in the first with this lineup.
I mean, he could, but
then
he never had a chance.
I think it's over. Heifetz, you're taking the Dodgers one last time here, or maybe even more after.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just believe in Yamamoto. I mean, I understand because I my first idea really was to Dabbundo's point was it's in what you guys are saying. It's so hard to figure out these lines. So I did have an idea at first of like, these first pitch bets, ball or strike. And I was like, why don't we just ask Kevin Gausman what he's going to throw?
What do you know?
And kind of cut him in.
Of course,
and like he could help us out.
It's the
So
easiest of anything. Yeah.
So I thought about that, but I couldn't get his number. So anyway, then I decided I'm just going to take the Dodgers because Yamamoto. I just kind of believe in Yamamoto. I know it's like dumb. It's like he did well last time, but they're going to face him again. But I just kind of think Yamamoto is just the best pitcher in the NL, and I just kind of think it's that simple. I think the Dodgers win this game, and I just believe that. But I kind of do think the Blue Jays end up winning the series. I don't know the best way to make money on that, but part of me just wants to bet Dodgers today and then Blue Jays for Game 7.
You can bet Blue Jays in 7.
Yeah, that's 3-1. A little less than 3-1, a little more than 3-1, right in there. Yeah, I think I
Max
looked at that
Scherzer
too.
starting Game 7 against Tyler Glass. Now that would be. I'm rooting for that as just a baseball fan. Now that my Dodgers minus 1.5 is dead, and I have a couple of Dodgers World Series tickets that don't look nearly as good as they did 4 days ago. But I would be fine. I'd be fine with that. It'd be fun. I will say, Savage tricked us, man. He
that's
hit
the
the
thing.
splitter. That was not fair.
Dabbundo, if I had gone to you Wednesday, and this was my analysis, the Blue Jays are going to win because the rookie's going to go on the road and he's going to pitch lights out. It's going to be like nothing we've ever seen. And on the other side, all right, Blake Snell, as tired as he looks, I know he's been kicked to the couch for 17 straight days. He is the better pitcher with more to prove, but he's going to kind of shit the bed early, and it's going to be enough for the Blue Jays. You would have laughed at me like, where the hell is this coming from? But I don't know. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you could go with the better pitcher. Yamamoto is maybe the best pitcher in the National League, but part of me feels like the Dodgers subconsciously quit on the season after that 18-inning game. They're like, you know what? This doesn't get better than this. Our star got on base 9 times, and Freddie Freeman hit another iconic home run. So let the Blue Jays take the rest.
Well, in
to
game
your point, Sal, I think sometimes the thing to remember is you ever think about if you were like what it would sound like if your predictions were right 100% of the time?
Yeah.
Like if you don't sound stupid every now and then, you can never be right a lot because of what you just said.
Right.
And so, but I was thinking about this series, and at the end of the day, this series reminds me in a different way of the Yankees Blue Jays series, where I'm like, you know what? The Blue Jays hit the baseball a lot. How many hits have the Dodgers had since the 10th inning of that game? How many hits have the Dodgers even had?
probably like 8, 10.
It can't be that.
And what
much.
is functionally 3 games.
I mean, they have
and I'm
4
like, the Blue
runs
Jays
in
just hit the
29
ball.
innings. Yeah. Well, listen, to your point, and I know you're taking the Dodgers. I'm going the other way. Maybe I'll change the mojo here. I'm going under 1.5 runs scored for the Dodgers at plus
1-0 Dodgers
470. Yeah, that could win too, right? So look, they might just be spent. Their bats sure look like it. They were lucky to score 2 in game 4. They had Hernandez with the solo home run in game 5, and that's it. Like I said, 4 runs in 29 innings. Betts can't hit for shit. He's batting 130 in this series. Game 5 batters were 1 through 4 were 1 for 15. They just can't get the ball out of the infield. In their last 123 half innings, if you really want to go back, the Dodgers have scored 3 or more just 3 times. So you got Gausman, 1 earned run versus the Yankees. He won his last 6 2/3 with 1 earned run against the Mariners. The Dodgers got to him in game 2 a little, but then they did the same to your Savage too. So I think banking on a complete Dodgers collapse isn't a bad way to go here at plus 470. Maybe I'll change it around.
So the funny thing was, so they have the traject machine, which the machine that like you can mimic a pitcher's stuff. Basically, like we want the splitter to move like this, and then they can hit batting practice off of that machine. Savage changed how he threw his splitter in game 5. That was the most insane thing I've ever read. Like,
are you allowed to do that? I don't even know.
Apparently, they didn't tell me. If they had told me that before the game, I wouldn't have bet his under, you know?
Can we talk about this for 2 seconds? Because I think it's interesting. I don't want to throw us off course here, but I think these machines are the single most under-discussed thing in all of baseball. So the only home team, so they're cost like $1 million, right? They're huge and they're not mobile. So you only can use them at home, right? And I think 26 of 27 stadiums have them. Just functionally in terms of your pregame routine, getting to simulate the at-bats with a machine that can throw the same pitches at the same trajectory with the same timing of the motion and like simulate all 3, 4, sometimes 5 pitches a pitcher can throw. And the home team can do that. And the away team just has to sit there and, hold themselves.
And scroll. Right. Well, did you see what Savage said? They were like, it was a Fox clip and it was like Savage is locked in and it's like him scrolling his phone. And then after the game, he said, "Nah, man, I was just scrolling TikTok." Dude, I wasn't locked in.
But I guess I'm just saying, I just think it's really strange. It's just it's funny that like baseball doesn't let you have Apple Watches in the dugout because they're so concerned about the technological advantage you could have.
Right.
But before the game, one of the teams can just simulate all day against the pitchers and the other one just can't. And I just think that's such a funny line to draw.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they all have iPads in the dugout too, but it's not the same as seeing the pitches, right?
Right. And it's not as cool.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As cool.
I mean, maybe if they spend $1
Savage fool. He tricked him. He did the bait and switch. He didn't throw the splitter in game 1. And then he threw a different splitter in game 5 than he's thrown all year. And the Dodgers were helpless.
I know. It's just funny to me where like, I know it's how baseball
You're
works.
saying there's hypocrisy in some of these sports? Is that what you're saying?
It's just funny that in any other context, the Dodgers lineup is MVP, MVP, MVP. And they're like, well, he threw the ball at like a slightly different angle. And so what are we supposed to do?
Right. Exactly.
End
It's
of
over. Yeah. All right. Well, what are we supposed to do with these World Series? So the Blue Jays are minus 235, Dodgers plus 194. I guess we'll discuss the MVP. And I've been singing from the mountaintops for Yamamoto MVP for the last 4 games since I knew Freeman was out. Freeman's out. He hit the biggest home run of the series, but no, he can't be considered. So right now it's Vlad minus 195, Ohtani plus 250, and Yamamoto plus 1,300. Heifetz. Make the case for Yamamoto. I'm with you, man. If he gets a complete game shutout here, he's the favorite going into game 7. And then what would have to happen for him to lose it other than the Dodgers losing, of course?
Yamamoto's the only one that makes sense. I totally agree because if he has, another 8, even just 8 innings, 1 run, like I think he'll get the MVP if the Dodgers win. But honestly, none of these other odds make sense because I'm like, do you guys think Ohtani could win the MVP if the Dodgers lose?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Vlad's too
So
popular.
Ohtani's odds to win MVP are plus 250. The Dodgers' odds to win the series are plus 230.
Yeah.
So not a single person's MVP odds make sense to me other than Yamamoto and just like pure long shots. I don't know. What did you think?
Like if somebody were to become God in the last 2 games in the Dodgers, like if Teoscar hit 3 homers in the next 2 games somehow,
right?
Could he win it? Could he?
Teoscar?
Why not?
The outfield?
Teoscar can hit home runs. He does it all the time. If he hits 3 in the next 2 games, he could win it. We'd be like, wow, Teoscar changed the series. He saved the Dodgers lineup. It could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm betting it. I'm just saying that like Ohtani, if they're going to pitch around Ohtani, which, they did go after him in game 5, but if they're going to pitch around him in any big spot, he's just not going to be able to have the same level of clutch hit.
Yeah, you were banking on him having a lights out pitching performance, and then running away with this thing. But otherwise, his odds were never really worth it, right? And just be happy if you didn't get him at minus, what was it, 450 at one point when he did get on base 9 straight times. How about going the bundle? It is a similar way of looking at it, except I have the other team here, Alejandro Kirk, who has sort of a resume coming into this, right? Plus 2,200, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 333 in this series. Guerrero, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 354 in the series. Kirk leads in slugging in this series, 667. Why is he so high? What if he does what you talked about with Teoscar Hernandez just tonight? What if he hits a home run, has 4 RBIs? Why should?
Well, the thing is, Vlad was so good in games 4 and 5 with the home runs.
Yeah.
That I feel like he's still clearly ahead, and he also has the much bigger name, and he's had an incredible series.
Much bigger name is, I think, why he's gotten there, but I think Kirk's stats are right there. So I just think a little bit of a push, a big game.
Right. It could happen. Yeah.
Why is it 22
that makes
to 1?
sense, though.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense because all you need, to your point, is Kirk to be the driving. Like if it's a 4-1 game and he gets all 4 RBIs going in, he's going to be the favorite. I think that's smart. Also, he's got the Cam Scatterbo build, and if he just starts head booping people, I think
that's harsh.
Really
that's harsh on Cam Scatterbo, really.
Does that machine detect all that Cam Scatterbo headbutting stuff? It wouldn't do that, right? The $1 million machine. I don't even know if the Blue Jays have it. The Blue Jays have that machine too.
I don't know if we could. The tariffs on sending it to Canada was too expensive.
I see.
Right.
Okay. All right.
It got denied at the border.
Yes. Speaking of expense, this is very expensive podcast. We got to take a break, pay some bills. We'll be right back. Talk Ringer 107. Woo! Okay, we received some thrilling news over the break. It's only thrilling for me and Dabbundo, really, because we're going to get a lot of... I love this shit. Anyway, I should mention today's Ringer 107 is brought to you by FanDuel. Yes. Ringer Fantasy Team, congratulations. Heifetz 4-1 last week, 22-18. You guys are in first place. Dabbundo and I 3-2 last week, 19-21. We are in anything other than first place. Well, I think we're fourth anyway, 3 games behind. Let's start with it now. We might as well start with it. So what happens is, here's the process. Simmons remembers or doesn't remember to screenshot the lines each week, Thursday, anywhere between 9 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Pacific. I would say that. And I've told him, I was like, listen, I happen to have those hours available. I think you're recording sometimes, you're not. Let me just do it at 10 a.m. every time. It doesn't matter. No, I got it. I just forgot. It's okay. It's all right. Okay. So anyway, he sends them in 3 screen grabs. By the way, screen grabbing a couple of games from next week, which we're not really supposed to see the lines ahead of time, but that's a whole other thing because we have a game. Guess the lines. It's been going on for years. So anyway,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. He screen grabs all the games for week 9. It says Bears -3. He likes the Bears -3. He goes on his podcast, Dabbundo, and what does he do?
He says, Ringer 107, week 9, Bears -2.5 against the Bengals with Joe House.
Wait, what? Wait,
now I happened to listen to the
We went on our show, and he sent the text while we were recording, and we went, and we were going to take Bears -2.5 while we're doing this. He sent the text, and we were like Bear -3. We didn't do it.
Oh, so you're saying there's shenanigans here? Interesting.
So he did 2.5.
Well,
No.
so I listened to the pod last night. It was great show. I love Schrager and House, and they did the pod, and I thought to myself at the end, wow, Bears are 2.5 now. And I texted Sal at like 1 a.m. and I said, hey, we got an extra half point on the Bears.
Because we took the Bears also. Yes.
Because we took the Bears, and I said this graphic's going to come out tomorrow, and we're going to have 3, and Simmons is going to have 2.5. Simmons and House are going to have 2.5. Sure enough, the graphic has just come in. both teams have -2.5.
We both have 2.5. All right. So now what do we do? Do we make a big deal of it? Bigger deal than we've already made?
It does benefit us.
It benefits us. And when I hear Heifetz talk about we would have taken the Bears, but for the fact that it's 3.
That is not Monday morning quarterbacking. If you go back and listen to our show, we, in the middle of it, go from 2.5. We're like, oh, it's 3. And we're like, and then we're like, we just did Rams -14.5 to the Saints because we were like,
I thought about saying to Sal, like, I don't love the 3 because I would, it was 2.5 and it's back to, it's 2.5 right now as well.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Okay, I love all the producers and everything, and I know Simmons is oblivious to this and he'll have his excuses and everything, but the producers need to cross-reference the lines that are screen grabbed with the picks. You just have to. You can't just go by what he's saying because what he's saying is outrageous half the time, and he's not gonna lose a half a point on this. I'll tell you that much. He gained a half a point. So anyway, I'll start it off once I get to the thing.
We should just text that group chat like our team did last week and be like, can we change our pick?
Heifetz, start it up. Go ahead, do it. Just do it now, and then we'll get live updates during the. We'll give you a second to screen grab the 107 picks and be like, wow, Bears went to 2.5. When did that happen? I don't know. Do whatever you want. Like
the text actually that tipped me off about this was somebody texted me a big red circle on the BS House's pick, their first pick this week, which is Chargers money line plus Detroit money line plus Bills plus 7.5.
Oh,
and it's very funny when the graphic gets tweeted every week, and it's just
I know. Yeah, it's Times New Roman 4.5 because they have to fit all their games in for the. All right, so anyway, that's getting in the weeds. All right, Heifetz, while you do that, let me pump up our Bears pick. I don't know if it's 3 or 2.5, but I like this team on the road in this spot. Caleb Williams, he's going to be okay. I know he's like 7 or 8%. Completion mean is lower than expectation, whatever. But Justin Fields is one of the worst in decades, and he went into the Queen City and beat the Bengals up. And if Ben Johnson is worth anything, he has to do the same here. And that defense, I think, is going to rear its ugly head again. Their turnover ratio is plus 10. Let's throw out the weird Ravens game for the Bears. The Bears, 25 or more points in their previous 4. They've hit their team total over almost every game this year. And also, teams after playing the Jets, Dabbundo, 0-7 against the spread this season. They screw you up. It's like playing pickup basketball with your 4-year-old and then going to the YMCA. Like, no, it's not going to be good. Bengals are screwed.
I love
because you start thinking you can dunk on a Fisher-Price hoop.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Wasn't it the Lions a couple years ago? Everybody was doing that trend. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's kind of
well,
random.
0-7. This is a thing now, right? I don't know. It's why everyone's taking them at 2.5 or 3 or whatever it is. Flacco, Browning, I think they're in trouble. 28-19. I'm going to say Bears take this one. Go ahead.
Bill's tweaking it back to Bears -3.
So Heifetz sent in the group chat, Bears -3 or Bears -2.5? Simmons' immediate reply should be Bears -3.
Yeah. Okay. We
just lost a half point. We shouldn't have said anything. Damn
I can't believe you told me to text him. That was a huge mistake by you guys.
All right. Now I got to get involved here. Shit.
Right. While you're doing that, I'll talk about the Bears.
Types.
I'll talk about the Bengals.
Talk about the Bengals.
I mean, look, I think the Bengals without Hendrickson are the worst defense in the last 5-6 years of football. And I know that the Dallas Cowboys are giving them a run for their money this year. I know that there are other groups that are down there, but when you watch them, the O-line or the D-line gets bullied. They can't stop the run. They're giving up a ton of explosive runs. The secondary, they're relatively healthy for the most part, except for Hendrickson. And there's nothing redeeming. There's no havoc. There's no tackling. They can't cover in space. The linebackers are getting picked on. And now, they have their best pass rusher out potentially. I mean, he's limited, but it doesn't seem like he was healthy last week at all. So they should hold out, try to trade him.
I think I've been covering the NFL for actually over a decade now, and I don't think I've ever seen what happened with the Bengals this season. 3 different players on their defense want to trade right now.
Logan Wilson, Hendrickson, and who else? Who's the third?
A defensive tackle this morning.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't even see that. But that's a bad sign.
And with 3 different players in your front 7 all want to trade? That's unprecedented. That's unbelievable. The fact that Flacco is also questionable with the throwing injury, it's like Flacco honestly is actually one of my favorite stories of the year. He's in his 40s and his throwing shoulder hurts. Like, I mean, any kind of pain could be career ending. It's like, I know you wake up and every day hurts because he's 40 and he plays in the NFL, but also that's not good.
Yeah. Simmons is acknowledging that he fucked up on the pod. Otherwise, I was going to make a big thing. Now he's throwing the producer under the bus. All right, we got to figure out how this is.
Chicago can just run the ball here.
Yeah.
Pre-bye, Chicago was 30th in EPA per rush. Post-bye, top 5. I think they've really figured out some offensive line stuff. The quarterback still throws it all over the yard, not always to the receivers, but I think this is the right side here. There's a lot of points.
Yes. We got, whether it's 2.5 or 3, we're going to cover here. 28-19 final. All right, Dabbundo, hit us with the Falcons. Now, listen, Heifetz is fading. Team Heifetz is fading this pick of Falcons plus 5.5. That Dolphins performance last night didn't help instill confidence in our Atlanta pick. I have to say they wiped the Dolphins up 5 days ago, and then I'm like, well, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know what we're seeing here. Well, they got wiped up rather. So go ahead.
There is a little bit of classic, market factors. We're trying to buy low and sell high, right? And so we're trying to be super duper sharp on this pod, and there is a little bit of that with the Falcons here, plus 5.5 on the road. Absolutely, because New England has played all of the bad defenses. Like if you name a bad defense, they've played the Patriots this year. They played the Titans and they played the Saints, and they've been able to move the ball on these bad defenses. Pittsburgh, right? But Atlanta's defense is probably the second best one they played all year, and it's definitely the best secondary they played all year. So I think that's a big difference here. Atlanta is number 2, fewest explosive plays allowed, and top 5 in explosive plays allowed on passes downfield. So we've talked, and there's been a lot of buzz and helium all week about Drake May in the media.
Helium is my least favorite word used in gambling.
and Sal, is sick of it. And to be honest, he's earned that respect, but probably means that there's a sell signal coming somewhere along the way. And I think this is a good time to do it. They still can't run the ball, the Patriots. And so if you're in a lot of passing downs against this Falcons team, it's a good pass rush and it's a good secondary. So I think that we saw the Dolphins have a ton of success running the ball. We saw the Niners run the ball really well on Atlanta, but New England doesn't really have the same ability to do that. So I feel like this game is a little bit too high. It should be closer to 3.5, 4. And so at 5.5, I'm going to take the Falcons begrudgingly. Ringer 107. I think there's a big head-to-head this week on this game. So we have 2 teams on New England and 2 teams on Atlanta.
It's gotta end. Let's ease into the Patriots hysteria with a non-cover at least, for God's sakes, right? Win by 3. Come on, enough is enough. Let's get it.
Last week they were 7 against Cleveland. Does anybody really think Atlanta would only be 1.5 against Cleveland on a neutral field?
I don't know anymore. And then Drake May connects on 3 40-yard lollipops, and that's that. All right, pick number 3, Lions minus 8.5. over the Vikings. I think this Vikings team is flailing. The last 2 at home, they've handled them easily. The Lions have 31-9, 31-20. Jared Goff beats his Vikes team, beats them. When he played the Vikings as a quarterback of Detroit, he's 8-0 against the spread. And Campbell has them ready almost every time off a bye. I think 88 points the last 2 years in games after the bye. No one's excited about McCarthy coming back. Maybe he wasn't even ready to come back. It took Carson Wentz breaking every bone in his upper torso to speed this along, this McCarthy comeback. So Vikings allow 65 to the Eagles and Chargers on the road. We watched one of those. The Eagles punished this defense. I think the Lions going to do the same, 37-17. Heifetz, you are tailing this, right? You and your boys.
I agree. We have the Lions giving 8.5 to the Vikings. I know that, at some point we're going to go 0-5, just picking favorites every week, but Lions are number 1 in DVOA and defense. I don't by no means think the Lions are the best defense in the NFL, but they are playing better than you'd think given the amount of injuries to their secondary. And I just don't think J.J. McCarthy has it right now. He's a rookie, he has no experience. He barely played in college. He barely threw in college. He's barely played in the NFL. And there's a certain threshold. He just doesn't see the field, I don't think. And maybe he does this week and plays great, but until he proves he can see an NFL field, he has more than one good quarter, I am going to bet against them every single week.
There you go. And their defense seems to be getting better, Detroit. All right, what else do we have here, Dabbundo? You have, Heifetz's favorite team, the Giants. How are we doing this?
Giants plus 2.5 at home.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Heifetz, I want to hear your thoughts on this game first.
I refuse. I told every week on the fantasy show, we all try to have what we can compromise on and what we cannot compromise on. And I said I didn't want to bet on Giants-Niners for the simple reason that the Niners have literally 20 players in the injury report. I don't know if you guys know this. There's only 46 that can dress for the goddamn game. 20 players in the injury report. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to have an opinion on who's going to play or not. I don't think a lot of the Niners are going to play the questionable guys because MetLife, the turf, I don't think Brock Purdy, Juwan Jennings, et cetera, being sent. I get what you're saying, Dabbundo, where it's like bet against the Niners have better name brand, but when you have 6 of your top 7 defensive linemen are hurt, just bet against that team. That's fair. I also just think that I'm just also still just don't really believe in the Giants enough to want to bet against them, but I get what you're doing. Like the Niners bet against the team where half the team is hurt. That's fair.
Yeah, it's looking at this defense now. I mean, we've had a couple of weeks where they've been at the bottom of the barrel defensively. Like they made the Houston Texans look like a functional and elite offense last week. They couldn't get off the field on third down. They can't generate any pressure. And the Giants are getting a little healthier in the secondary, it looks like. So, I mean, I think that all trends toward, same with Detroit, by the way, with getting Branch back from suspension and potentially Arnold as well. So, I think ultimately both of these offenses should be able to move the ball in this game. Right? The Niners should be able to run it on the Giants. The Giants' run defense has been quite depressing. But
a prop I like, I mean, Dexter Lawrence got called out. A prop I like, McCaffrey longest run. I think that, I don't know if they win the game. But to your point, yeah, I mean, the Niners acquired 2 defensive linemen this week, Keon White from the Patriots, and they signed Cleveland Farrell. There's a chance both play this week. That's how bad it is.
And there's a good chance neither are good.
Yeah.
If we're being honest.
But yeah.
So they have no way of getting pressure. They are bottom. It's literally them and the Bengals the last 3 weeks, lowest pressure rates, and that coincides with Hendrickson getting hurt. So they're not able to get to quarterbacks. And like to Dart's credit, when they've been forced to pass, they've actually been fine. Like I pulled up the stats, and this is one thing I like to look at: 3rd and 4th down and 5+ yards. I think DK talked about this last week. We were talking about Drake May last week at the office. The Giants are the 5th most efficient passing offense in 3rd and 4th and long. So, like, even if they can't run it because, Scadaboo's out, although I think Tyrone Tracy's perfectly respectable as a running back.
Scadaboo out? What happened?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was your reaction to that? Do you turn the game off? Do you have a moment of silence?
Absolutely numbness.
Let's physically see what the reaction was, and then we can compare it to what your reaction was when they blew the Denver game. Let's see it. Go ahead. That's it?
I actually think I mentally crumbled.
You did?
Like I sat in stoic silence, but inside a small piece of me died. Sal, you also you wrote an essay here in the Ringer 107.
Yeah, I don't know what I did here. Yeah.
We also took the Bears knowing Bill would try to steal half a point. There'd be no cross-referencing to the screen grabs. I guess we'll stick with -3.
That's right, yeah.
And then the Ringer 107 police, a.k.a. Raheem and JJ, said the Bears should be -3 because of that line in the screen grab.
Good one, Raheem. All right. Sorry, a lot of this is inside baseball with the personalities, as we know.
But I think that's
this is the pitching machines.
This is what makes this fun, no?
Yeah. Look, Simmons is going to fuck up, and he's never going to fuck up, anything other than but in his favor. So the producer's got to cross-reference the screen grabs to the actual thing here. Okay. That's all we got to say.
So you're saying Bill's throwing the producers under the bus, or you are?
No. I mean, he kind of is. He's like, well, whoever makes a graphic, just change it. Right? Or just give the right line. I don't know. Anyway. All right.
But no, my favorite is that
Sal,
we got
who's
the
your
extra
next bet
half.
here?
We got the extra half. I thought it would have been way funnier.
That's what I was saying.
If we had the different line.
That's what I said. We were banking on him screwing up. We might as well just take his picks, knowing that we're going to get one a half point either way. All right. So then our last one is the Colts, Dabbundo.
Yeah, I think the Steelers are I'm calling them the official fake sharp play of the week, much like they were last week. Everybody wants to bet Mike Tomlin at home. I could pull up the trends of the last 20 years that say Mike Tomlin at home as a dog off a loss. You bet the Steelers, you win like 65% of the time. That would have been true last week when it was Mike Tomlin at home as a dog off a loss against one of the best offenses in the NFL. And now next week we move ahead. They've lost 2 in a row. It's Mike Tomlin as a dog at home off a loss. 2 losses. This is the worst defense he's ever had. By points per drive, he's been the coach of the Steelers for 19 years. This is the worst defense that he's had through 8 weeks. Worst defense he's had if you extrapolate that out for a full season. This team is not getting pressure. They can't cover the middle of the field. And look, Shane Steichen's had a lot of success against Tomlin the last couple of years. 2 years ago in Indy, 30 points with Gardner Minshew. John Taylor ran all over him. Last year, with Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson splitting time because of an injury, 27 points. So like this team is just going to score. And can Pittsburgh keep up from a losing game state? I don't have a ton of confidence in that. As much as I am flawed, I think the Colts defense is flawed. I think this is a great matchup for the Indy offense, as is every defense. So I'm laying it again, 3. There'll be a time where maybe the Colts are overrated. I don't think this is the spot.
And I think, speaking of overrated, there's a little over concern with Aaron Rodgers and revenge games and what's he going to do against this team and that team. And it's distracting to the fact that the Steelers have one of the worst defenses this last month in the decade. Like they really are. And your Colts, as you know, at most points per drive in the last like 20 years or something crazy. So this is a nice matchup. Maybe the Steelers defense comes to play. I don't think it's cold enough yet for that to happen, Heifetz. You're on this as well. I think the 18-16 games have gone the way of the dodo bird there. I don't know. It's gone. It's over for the Steelers D.
We're also, well, when you say stuff like that, then I'm like, yeah, watch TJ Watt have a strip sack and Jalen Ramsey have a fumble recovery and all this stuff. But to your point, I agree. That's the only way it's going to happen because we have blindly bet the Colts every single week this season. So honestly, I don't know if you guys want any advice, but the way to win the Ringer 107, just bet the Colts every week. We're going to do it. I'm telling you right now, we're going to do it 18 times. And then all the way, like until they're eliminated from the season, we're going to bet the Colts every week.
That sucks.
It's the opposite of what Dabbundo said because it's when Dabbundo was like, we buy low, sell high. It's like, that's called timing the market. Yeah. We do what Warren Buffett does, which is like Charlie Munger's advice to Warren Buffett 80 years ago is buy good companies and wait. The Colts are a good team. Steelers are a bad team. Like, it's that simple. The Colts are good on every phase of the ball. The Steelers are not. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, so let's go over the couple picks. So you're against us with Patriots, Atlanta. You're with us with Lions, Vikings. You're with us with Colts, Steelers. You got a couple weird ones here. Yeah, he just goes with the good quarterbacks, the good teams, Dabbundo. I'm starting to see what
Heifetz?
Yeah,
I was going to propose a hypothetical line. Over under 4.5 underdogs that the Ringer Fantasy Show takes the rest of the year. Because they did take one last week. You guys had Pittsburgh, didn't you?
What happened? Did you screw that up? Did you think they were favorites?
Yeah, wait, Heifetz, didn't you guys have Pittsburgh
we saw the
last
Steelers
week?
a little minus. We were like, oh no.
Didn't you have Pittsburgh last week?
We did.
You just said you're taking the Colts every week.
Yeah, we did for that one.
Okay. So
they didn't play the Colts last week.
They didn't play the Colts.
Well, I guess
no, that's this week.
Yeah, I got you.
No, they don't play 2 weeks in a row, Dabbundo. This is
sorry.
This is a whole different week. All right, Chargers, Tennessee, 9.5. Go ahead. Yeah.
You think this is a weird bet? It's the Titans are the worst. The Titans having a 1. The Titans have a 1 next to their win column, which really throws people off. This is the worst team in the NFL.
I agree.
Like the Titans. Bad teams win weird games all the time. The Jets were 20-point underdogs, whatever the Rams, and they beat them outright. It cost themselves Trevor Lawrence. It happens. However, the Titans in any other world outside of that 1 in a billion win against the Cardinals, where the DeMarcado to throw the ball away and the interception that became a touchdown. The Titans would be an 0-17 conversation right now if that game hadn't happened.
Agree.
The fact that we don't have to, that this line didn't get to 10 against the Chargers team that just throttled the Vikings and had 10 days to prepare for Cam Ward. I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe I'm an idiot and maybe we're
10.
Dumb. And
you know what it opened?
Would say fake sharp.
It opened 10.5. It got bet down to 8.5.
So maybe we're fake sharp morons and we're going to just lose. But let me tell you something. I just think the Chargers are going to win this game by 10, and I don't really understand why it's not 12.5. I kind of can't believe we didn't have to lay double digits against Cam Ward. Why? Who are the Titans going to keep against a 10-point game? I don't understand this.
I don't know where the bottom is on the Titans. That's the problem. Like I can't make this more than 10. Like I have had the Titans rated as the worst team in the league for the most of the season now, and even I am like, the Chargers good enough to be laying 10 on the road against anybody. Right. But then again, I don't understand the math. Know how bad the Titans are yet.
This is the water's edge of where my lack of understanding of how lines are set and modeling and all this stuff. What do you mean I can't get there? I've watched the games. The idea that the Titans can't lose by 10 points to a Chargers, what are we talking about? Of course they can.
They're at home.
Who cares? You know who's not going to be at home? The fans. They're not going to go to this fucking game. They're mad enough at the stadium. You can't park against stadium because they're building a stadium in the parking lot. It's the worst team in the league. No Titans fans are going to be at this fucking game.
That would
Who
be
cares
funny
if they're home?
If more Chargers fans than Titans. Ironic if if anything else. The problem with taking the Titans ever, whether it's 9.5 at home or 4.5 on whatever it is, you get one free play. You get one free big play. with the Titans, and it's negative. And it's either a pick six from Cam Ward or Cam Ward drops back to pass, and just the ball just magically falls from his hand. Whatever happened against New England, it's always something like that. So that's worth a lot of
touchdown
points.
By the Colts.
I've also been gambling long enough to know that when I feel this strongly about a line, the Titans are going to win outright.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I
generally agree. I mean, the Titans are going to, the case for the Titans is like the Chargers defense will make them be methodical, and the Titans have actually moved the ball better the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Again, the big plays have killed them, but they can just like keep getting first downs and keep this game somewhat competitive. But yeah, it's a lot of people grab 10 with the Titans, and I'm like, are you sure you want to bet the Titans? I get your power ratings say this, and like so do mine. Mine make it exactly 9, but I'm just like, pass.
Yeah, the other game I have here, I have Rams giving 14 after the Saints. I know that I'm just sitting here and I'm like, hey guys, I'll take the good teams versus the bad teams. Boys, we have a generational opportunity here. I don't know how many times we'll ever get to bet against Tyler Shuck as the quarterback of the Saints. Kellen Moore claims it'll be all season. You know what? You live your life one week at a time. You never know how long we have on this earth. This could be the first and last chance we ever get to bet against Tyler Shuck as an NFL quarterback. I'll also do this Matt Stafford threw 5 touchdowns without Puka Nacua. So I'm going to just do it and trust Sean McVay to beat Tyler Shuck.
He wants to play. I think
he's got to beat him by 15.
Yeah.
I agree. I took Saints team total under for what it's worth. It's in the betting column.
Fair enough.
I think they're going to struggle, but we'll see.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's the thing you worry about with these is it's the touchdowns or field goals when they should be touchdowns, and it's like it's 26-9 or something, and the Saints score late or some crap. So that's the only thing here. But they should lay it on them pretty good. All right, so that's it. We did it. Ring 107 today was brought to you by FanDuel. Odds are subject to change. Tell Bill Simmons. Why do I have to read that? Odds are subject to change. Let's go to our teams real quick. Well, we talked about the Giants. Heifetz, you said this is a stay away for you. We are leaning on your Giants here. Dabbundo, we talked about the Colts, why they should handle the Steelers. Arizona and Dallas. Listen, I think Kyler plays here. This is one of the game time decision for quarterbacks in the league. There's like 6 quarterbacks that say they're actually going to play on Thursday, and then 3 of them might or might not, and then some are just actual game time decisions. Lots of weird Kyler trends here. He can't lose in AT&T Stadium. He's 9-0. He's won like a schoolboy championship there. He won the Big 12 championship with the Sooners, beat the Cowboys a bunch, but he sucks on Monday Night Football. And he sucks after a bye, which is weird. He started 6 career games after a full week bye and just 1-5 straight up and 1-5 against the spread. Is it too many video games, Heifetz? Is it just like 22 hours a day of Call of Duty during the bye week and he comes in like a zombie with the Blake Snell bags under his eyes? What could that be? It used
to be the Call of Duty, but the problem is Battlefield came out now. That's the new game. And Battlefield's dropping earlier than Call of Duty did. So I think that's the new. It's like the pitching machines. It's like this is the new meta.
I see.
Battlefield is really derailing Arizona's season.
And so that's what he's doing on the bye, where it's especially concentrated. He doesn't have to practice as much. All right, but maybe it really doesn't matter since the Cowboys defense is so disgraceful. This is an interesting stat I saw. They score the second most points per game, 30.8, but they allow the second most points per game, 31.3. The only team to score and allow more than 30 points per game in the same season in NFL history, the 1950 New York Yankees. Look at that. The New York Yankees and the Dallas Cowboys. Hated Darth
Don't
Vader's
tell, whatever you do not
franchises.
tell First Take that stat.
Oh, yeah, no, I won't.
That will lead the show for the next week.
Hopefully they're not listening. No team has done it in the Super Bowl era, of course. So you want to have fun with this? I would say take player props over, right? And SGPs, this is probably your game, right? The bundle.
Why not just the tried and true, Sal? Dallas team total over.
Yeah. I think
they got to score. It's 27.5.
27.5. Right.
Yep.
Sal,
we did it against the Commanders.
Mm-hmm. Can I read some players from the 1950 Yankees?
Please. Yeah. It's not Mickey Mantle, not those guys. Yeah.
The defensive end was named Art Wiener.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't very good. He was one of the, along with the other wieners, gave up over 30 points a game. Interesting. Yeah. Let's do some player props. I know you're itching here, Heifetz. What do you like?
I just going back to I just don't respect the Steelers defense and I respect the Colts. I don't know how many weeks in a row they'll have to have as many points per drive as the 07 Patriots. I don't know which one I'll remember longer, the 07 Patriots or the 2025 Colts. But Alec Pierce, same game parlay, longest catch over 21.5 yards, and then anytime touchdown. It's like 4-1 basically. I think you're going to hit this in one play. I'm surprised Alec Pierce doesn't have a touchdown already, but the Steelers they just aren't going to be able to compete in the run or the pass. I just think Alec Pierce is going to get a long touchdown in the end zone, and it'll pay a lot of money.
Well, he was out a lot, right? Didn't he miss like 3 games or something?
He missed a game with a concussion.
Is that it? It was only 1?
The thing is, they throw it deep to him, but then he usually catches it like the 12-yard line.
Yeah.
There's no yak for Alec Pierce. It's just like jump ball. He boxes the guy out, makes the catch.
He's falling
falls
backwards
to the ground.
when he catches it, right? Yeah, so there can't be yak.
It has to be in the end zone usually, yeah.
All right, Dabbundo,
or maybe he had the one with Anthony Richardson last year, but I don't think Anthony Richardson's walking through that door. I like Jackson Dart under 35.5 rush yards. Funny story from last week. So I gave out Kamara over 22.5 on the show. And then when I went to go bet it, I was like, oh, over 24.5 is plus 115. Like, I should just bet that.
Was it 24? Yeah.
Finished with 24.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So I lost. But if you listen to the pod and bet over 22.5, you won. And
there you go.
I lost. So there you go. Anyway,
it's all
Jackson
what the graphic comes out with. We'll see what the Ringer 107 graphic allows you. But go ahead. Dart under 35.5 rushing yards.
Yes. Do you think, Heifetz, that there's been a little bit of a, hey, maybe don't run as much because we don't want you to die since that Eagles game when he almost died?
There better be, because what the hell? What is Brian Dable? Why is Jackson Dart taking the most hits in the league?
His attempts are way down the last 2 weeks against Denver and against Philly. 2 pretty good defenses against scrambling quarterbacks. But this week he gets a Niners team that doesn't bring pass rush, that plays a lot of zone. So I think it'll be a tougher game for him to get a lot of rushing yards. And again, it does seem to me that there's been a concerted effort from the Giants. So no inside information here, but that they don't want him to run quite as much as he was before. So under 35.
Look, at the end of that game, they were down 20. And Dable called a quarterback keeper at the goal line. So they're going to.
But you're not going to get a lot of yards on the goal line, though. So that's okay for me. But you're right. That is a scary point.
Yeah, unless they move the goal line. You're right. It's always going to be right there. Okay, I'm going to give you mine. Jahmyr Gibbs, 50-plus receiving yards, plus 470. Why is this so high? I guess because he does it 1 every 5 games, but I just feel like it's better than that. Last Sunday, he had 82 on 3 catches. He's had longs of 30 and 20 the last couple of weeks. In the playoffs, he had 70 yards receiving against Washington. He came close to 50 twice against Minnesota last year. I think that he could knock this out on one play. And by the way, he gets up to 17 miles an hour, 19 miles an hour, sometimes 21.6 miles an hour. That stuff. When are we going to be able to bet that, Heifetz? Miles per hour run.
You can bet first pitch speeds.
Yeah. Our favorite bet. We actually could bet that in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce was 14.5 miles an hour over under top speed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we were like, how fast is 14? And we went to the hotel gym and put a treadmill and we were trying to figure out how fast it was.
It's fast.
So there you go.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
Not as fast as you think.
Right,
what was the final result? Did he go under?
You think he was under? Yeah.
He pushed.
He was sick for the Super Bowl, wasn't he? That was the story that came out after.
That whole team was sick.
I was sick watching a game.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. All right, so that's that. Hey, let's take one more break. Then we got college football. We're going to do some handy clipping. We're right back. All right, big games this week on the college gridiron. Tennessee minus 2.5 at home versus Oklahoma. Ohio State 20.5 at home versus Penn State. Dabbundo, you mentioned, what was the preseason line on this? 6.5 or something?
3.5.
3.5, right. Oh, my God.
Now it's 20.5.
I think it's because Penn State sucks. Yeah, they're down a coach and they can't win games. Texas, this is a good one. 2.5-point favorite at home, 46.5 against Vanderbilt. Heifetz, you and I are going head to head. I kind of feel like this is a rat line. In a way, Texas should not be favored, and that's the case you're going to make. They maybe haven't done enough, and that's why I like them in this spot. I love them. Arch Manning, 346 and 4 touchdowns. Of course, I bet his under last week against Mississippi State. He is a game-time decision. He has to clear concussion protocol, but I think this is where the hijinks come in, right? He's been practicing all week, and all he has to do is clear concussion protocol, and he's getting, I don't know, $75 million to play for this team. I think the doctor's going to come through here. This is their first home game in a month. Vanderbilt finally on the road. Pavia hasn't won a big one on the road. As a matter of fact, he played poorly in Tuscaloosa, turned the ball over a couple of times, couldn't put drives together. Maybe Texas's defense doesn't travel well. I think they step up like they did against the Sooners at home. Ryan Wingo, premier wide receiver. Remember that name, 184 last week. Sarkisian gets it done 27-17 Longhorns. Go ahead, Heifetz. Let's hear why they're not going to win and cover.
You're probably right. I'm getting bamboozled here because I started looking at Matthew Caldwell, who would be the quarterback for Texas if Arch can't go. And I just saw Jacksonville State, Gardner-Webb, Troy, and I bet Vanderbilt plus 2.5 right then and there. But so you're right. Maybe I'm getting bamboozled here, and Archer's going to play. It's going to be easy peasy. But generally speaking, I don't like that. But you're right. Yeah, he's probably going to play. I just love this Vanderbilt team, man. I just love everything about him.
The best outcome for content is that Arch doesn't play, and then this guy Caldwell comes in and cooks, right?
He's not terrible. He's a fifth-year, college player. He's taken snaps for 5 years. He's 13 touchdowns last year, obviously with the lesser-known schools. But he could get. It's not like Arch Manning is the Arch Manning we talked about in August either. So Texas, home my pick, and Heifetz, you're going the other way. All right, Dabbundo, what do you like?
Big one tonight. The orange.
Oh, yeah.
On Halloween. I mean,
Right.
kind of feels like it's got to be a bet. We're laying points somehow against Chapel Bill. Originally, I was planning to go up to Syracuse for this game, and let's just say it doesn't have quite the same luster that it did back in August either. Speaking of sad games,
Why?
but well,
Why?
I don't know if you heard.
I think more luster. I think it's great.
The Syracuse quarterback tore his Achilles against Clemson, and we really haven't been good. You see, you thought I was going to say Belichick,
right, yeah.
But our quarterback, it's a bad situation for both teams. So I might watch for the hilariousness of it all. But Sixers NBA Cup tonight might take priority, and the World Series. With that being said, I like Florida plus 7.5 against the Georgia Bulldogs. Forgot who they were playing for a second there. We talked about this on the Wednesday show. I'm back in on Florida again. I know that they have been very Jekyll and Hyde this year, but Billy's gone, a little action, interim bump, and I don't think this Georgia defense is any good at all. So we might see some new wrinkles from the offense. We might see something different coming out of the bye week for the Gators. Really, like we went through this, Georgia this year, defensively super flawed. Got a couple of lucky covers, but really should be like 1-6 against the spread. They have been overrated all year, and the market still loves this team with this line over 7.5. I'm good. I'll pass. I'll take the Gators. And then I want to propose an interesting hypothetical.
Go ahead.
So I was looking at the Big Ten, and I was looking, okay, Ohio State and Indiana are obviously going to be in at this point, barring some kind of catastrophic situation. There's going to be a couple other Big Ten teams that probably make their way into the field. The two main contenders are Michigan, who would have to beat Ohio State. If they run the table, they're in the Big Ten championship, so they would obviously be in. But I probably think that maybe one time Ohio State will get the better of Michigan, and it might be this year. But there's another team in the Big Ten that caught my eye, and it's called the Washington Huskies. This team lost to Ohio State, lost to Michigan. They have 2 losses right now, but their remaining schedule is pretty friendly. And basically this whole thing comes down to they play Oregon at home at the end of the year. And if they win that game, they're going to be a 10-win Big Ten team with a big win against Oregon. And they're only going to be like a 4-point dog. Like the market does like this Washington team. They're probably like a 4-point home dog to the Ducks. I know you're Ducks, Sal, but 13-1 on Washington to make the playoff. We need to beat the corpse of Washington, the corpse of Purdue, rejuvenated UCLA, and then we get this game with Oregon at the end of the year that kind of decides at the rivalry game, Seattle. In Seattle, we'll do some sailgating.
Wait, what are the last 3? What are the was UCLA?
It's Wisconsin, Purdue, UCLA, and then Oregon. And they're not ranked right now. They're 28th in the poll. They got
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
Should you bet Washington to make the playoff, or should you just individually bet them to win every single game the rest of the season?
Probably about the same.
Because they're going to be huge favorites in 3 of the games.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they'd be at UCLA, but they're going to be pretty sizable favorites against Purdue. And
here's the problem. I think only 3 teams make the playoffs from the Big Ten. I know it was a exception last year, and think about what had to happen for Indiana to make it over Alabama, who was ranked in the top 12. Like the SEC, they wanted so badly to give the SEC, but they just could not because Indiana had 1 loss and Alabama had 3. They're like, we just can't do it. It would have to happen exactly like the way you.
But that's the thing, right? They play Oregon. Oregon's the 3rd team.
No, I'm saying there's not going to be 4. There's not going to be 4. Okay. So you have to get to get 3. Yeah.
Have any of these college football ranking arguments aged as poorly as the Bama fans wanted to be in over Indiana last year?
Yeah. Oh, I know. And then they get murdered in the bowl game. Yeah, it was bad.
Well, the people who are like, well, the betting odds would make Alabama a favorite against Indiana, which is true. That was true last year, but it's like, why play the games then?
Right, exactly. Well, if you
even as a gambling
make
guy,
FanDuel rank the teams. Make FanDuel put the play. With the hypothetical
honestly, that's what the Bama fans.
I don't mind it. It's just as good as anything else. I would root against that, but I don't 13-1 is pretty good for, you're right. They would be a handful of point underdog at home against Oregon. They'd have to.
Well, I was looking around like USC. They still have to go to Oregon.
Schedule. They go to Oregon. Yep.
So they're probably losing that one.
Yeah.
And
Michigan,
Iowa
would lose. Yeah.
Iowa has 2 losses. They play Oregon next week, so they could lose that game, and they go to USC. So Iowa's taking another loss, I think. And Iowa, by the way, is 15-1.
It's
like
not
they're
bad.
like the same odds.
It's really not bad.
I think the Huskies could make a run at it.
I like
Not
that.
sure how good the Huskies are, but I like the quarterback.
They're okay, and they win their home games, and they're solid. All right, 13-1. I don't mind that. Hey, let's do some handy clipping here. We're going to show a clip or a news item, and we're going to set odds accordingly. Okay, here is Sydney Sweeney wearing a gray dress. Now, I want to see if you guys notice something. Oh, no. Okay, no, we'll pass on that.
The haircut. She's got like a bob thing.
She
going
really
on.
did, right? She liked her
Heifetz didn't
bangs
comment
or
on my
something.
haircut.
What happened there?
You did get a haircut. That's true. I told him to get a haircut, and he got one.
He came up to me at Core Week, and he put both of his hands on my shoulders, and he said, "Son, I want to give you some advice. You got to get a haircut."
And that's what it came out with.
I said, "Good thing I have an appointment scheduled for Wednesday to get my haircut."
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Good. Sydney Sweeney. I told Sydney Sweeney that too.
Yeah, now he's got a shot with Sydney Sweeney. It's good. Did that come with a cup of soup, that haircut? No, it looks good. I think we're going to be all right. All right. Hey, listen, let's do some handy clipping. Tua pep talk. Roll it, Mikey Meatballs. Here it is.
Hey, we got 60 minutes. 60 minutes tonight. 4 hours. Okay? 4 hours of making that feel you. Hey, once we get out there, let's light the gate and let's go do what we do best. Let's go. Come on. Let's go do what we do.
All right. So they went on and got killed, which is hilarious, but also hilarious. Tua thinks these games are 4 hours long. He said, we're going to inflict pain for 4 hours. We're going to experience pain. Was that what he means? It was painful watching him overthrow Achane by 15 yards in the first quarter. But I'm going to ask, has anyone ever been sent to the blue tent immediately after a pep talk? Because I think this may be what should have happened here, Heifetz.
That was actually kind of how my thing telling Dabbundo to get a haircut went. You know what I mean? It was kind of this similar energy. I was like, let me give you some advice. And he's just like tuning me out. He's like, God, when will this guy shut up?
Worst motivational speaker since Chris Farley in the van down by the river skit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was great. That was really good, too.
Tua might be, I mean, he got a big contract, but he might be the football equivalent of living in a van down by the river coming next year.
Between him and McDaniel, and then he has the press conference, and he says and 100 times. Like, I don't know how this guy got through the interview to get the coaching gig in the first place, but is there going to be, and it's a shame that it has to break up, is there a funnier sports comedy team from one team? I said odds on this. Charles and Shaq are the favorites at 3-1. Tua and McDaniel, I think, are 7-1. Shohei and his interpreter 10-1, or you could take the field at even. I might just go with these two, Tua and the DJ. My God,
I think you're 100% right, Sal. The interpreter, it's funny because you never know what they're gambling on either. But the Tua, I have 3 weeks in a row tried to figure out if what Tua said in a press conference was AI, because I was like, well, he didn't say this, right? And this week he was asked about the false starts, and Tua was like, well, it was hard because all the fans. The Ravens fans were so loud, we couldn't hear anything. So we got that sorted. And I'm like, you're blaming the fans for not coming, the Dolphins fans for not coming to the game. That's what you're going to say publicly. Again, Tua has deleted his social media. Get on social media. You have no idea how bad this is playing, man. You got to get back on.
Well, what about when the fans are booing him next week? Like, their next home game. Like, oh, where did that come from? Well, because you shit on them the week before. That's why. Go ahead, Dabbundo.
I just had a breaking news thing hit The Athletic reporting, and apparently Seattle, this is the NWSL, so Women's Soccer League. Seattle Reign's Laura Harvey, she's the head coach, the manager, says ChatGPT inspired her tactics. Quote, it said play a back five, so I did. I thought this was a meme, so I clicked the account, and this is actually what she said.
Did they
so
win?
How far away are we from ChatGPT head coaches?
I don't know, but why are you interrupting this nice little rant that we're going to try to make a breakout of with the Seattle women's soccer shit? Why do we?
We were on ChatGPT. I thought we were talking about AI head coaches.
No, he mentioned AI as anecdotally that he thought, oh, whatever. Okay. All right. So who's the best team? Is it Tua and McDaniel? They're a pretty good team, I think. It's 7-1 odds. You can't beat that. All right, let's look at this other one here. Oh, this is Alvin Kamara on Tyler Shuck. Let's see what he has to say.
In practice during camp, I got on Tyler because, you send it back in motion. Like, it seems so simple, but it's so big. When you send somebody in motion, you want to move your hand to the way they're going in motion. But Tyler would do it the opposite way. If the back was going in motion this way, he'll do this. So I was getting on him because I think one day it happened. He did this, and the motion was supposed to go that way, and the back went to the way he pointed. And now that's on the back, and I'm like, Tyler, I was like, I lined up and I was like, send me in motion. Like, send me in motion to the left. And he was like this. And he was like,
All right, over under 3.5 seconds before Heifetz's head bursts if we don't let him talk about this. What is going on here, Heifetz?
This is maybe my favorite thing anyone has said all year. First of all, the idea that Alvin Kamara is talking about this quarterback who's making his debut on Sunday and saying, yeah, you got to go right, but he's pointing to the left. That's something you learn with experience. How much experience do you need to know that if you need someone to go right, you should point to the left? Has he not learned that yet? This guy's 26 years old. Don't you learn that when you're like 4?
I learned
anytime you've ever crossed the street.
Yeah.
What do you mean you learned that with experience? He's like, which way do you, if I was like, hey, Sal, go that way. I'm like, well, no, I meant that way. Like, what? You learned that really early in life. And the other part of the learning with experience thing that drove me up a wall when I heard this, Tyler Shuck is 26 years old. He went to college for 7 years. Tyler Shuck is older than Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's my age.
Think about that. He's Dabbundo's age. Dabbundo's out here talking about AI with the Seattle Sounders or whatever. Like, if he hasn't learned it by now, how much more experience does Tyler Shuck need to learn left from right?
I think, first of all, the poor guy failed his driver's test 4 times in a row. So it's because you don't really do that anymore. But yeah, I didn't learn until my late 30s. I don't know, Dabbundo. When did you learn?
I learned it in the SpongeBob episode when Patrick says "weast" instead of "east." that was it for me. That was like, I never want to be that guy. So I learned my west, my east, my left, my rights.
So instead of breaking down X's and O's, you think Tyler Shuck should watch SpongeBob like in the film room?
A very educational experience.
Yeah. He probably missed. That's probably why Tyler Shuck's so old. SpongeBob wasn't even on
That's
yet.
True.
That's why he doesn't know left from right.
It was my generation, Heifetz. We peaked in the SpongeBob era.
Yeah,
it was Woody Woodpecker.
You're also in my generation, so I guess I'm kind of talking down to you a little bit.
I love it. All right. That's handy clipping. I think we've done a full show here. My goodness, an hour and 12 minutes. Well, about 40 minutes we're on Simmons. What are we going to do? His follies.
It would have been an hour and 10 if we didn't have to talk about Seattle Reigns, ChatGPT inspired tactics.
We'll do it. Well, after the pod, let's talk devote 25 minutes to it. We got it. Hey, that's going to do it for another episode of the Ringer Gambling Show. For Anthony Dabbundo and Danny Heifetz, I'm Sal saying so long, and may your parlays be prosperous. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. You must be 21 or older and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG, 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE New York in New York.